Hey guys, I know this isn't the Star Wars Battlefront video, and I promise those are still coming out. The next one is going to be out by Thursday morning at the very latest, but I realized that one of the reasons I made this channel in the first place was because I wanted to put out my opinions on games, and I haven't done that in quite a while. And I watched a video that Omni put out just the other day talking about why the Pokémon franchise sucks, and so I wanted to talk about that because I 100% agree with him. In fact, I 1000% agree with him. The Pokemon franchise right now is horrible. It could be so much better than it is right now. I do want to preface all of this by saying that Game Freak, they're not the only ones to blame right now. The Pokemon Company also takes quite a massive amount of blame because they keep forcing Game Freak to put out yearly releases, which doesn't give them a lot of time to work on these games. Like back before they got 3D models, the games were only be putting out like every 4 years or 2 years, around that. So they were being put out at a much slower pace, but they were much better quality. Now, Pokemon used to be an amazing franchise. The Gen 5 games, Black, White, Black 2, White 2, those 4 games, those were the peak of the Pokemon franchise. Those were incredible. Great Pokemon, the most new Pokemon in the series, a bunch of new moves, abilities, items. The first time the entire series where we had like fully animated sprites that constantly moved, not just like introductory sprites that moved for like a few seconds and then they just stayed completely still. Like really well animated battle animations, an interesting story, interesting characters, great music. It had it all, and the region was amazing, and also the sequels actually were different from the base games. Where before, the sequel was just, oh, it's the same game but like a few things are different. But Black 2 and White 2, they actually added. There were different gym leaders. You like started off in a completely different location. The Elite Four was different. It was set 2 years after the first 2 games. It was so good. But the game got so much stupidly unnecessary backlash because of bad Pokemon designs, which, no, that's objectively false. In fact, I believe that the Gen 5 Pokemon designs are some of the best out of the entire series. People are like, oh, the Gen 5 designs are lazy. What, is that is that just a chandelier? That's boring. Oh, it's a pile of garbage. Oh, it's an ice cream cone. Boy, just look at the Gen 1 Pokemon. Fire Lizard, Turtle, bundle of hair, a woman. Like, they're so boring. You want to talk about boring, uninspired designs? Take a look back at Gen 1. But because of the backlash, first of all, they got backlash for the first few games, and yet they still hauled ass and put out the sequels, and they were even better than the base games. They had even more passion, which I didn't think could have been possible, but they proved that it was. And yet the sequels also received backlash because of the bad Pokemon designs, and because of that, Game Freak didn't want to try innovating anymore, so they just played it safe with Gen 6 onwards. Now we have the same Pokemon models each game, they're lifeless, the regions aren't all that interesting, they're very small, the characters aren't all that interesting either. Gen 7 had some interesting characters, but most of them were just meh. Like, the games now are just so cookie cutter and flowchart and uninspired and boring. And the gimmicks, oh my god, the gimmicks. Listen, this might get me some backlash, but I'ma say it. Mega Evolution was a mistake. Probably one of the biggest mistakes Game Freak could have ever come up with. Because now, every game has to have a gimmick. Every game has to have a nuke button that you just push during battle and suddenly it's like, oh, you wiped out the entire team. Gen 7 had Z moves, which are objectively the best, because yeah, it's a nuke button, but it's not guaranteed to kill, and you can only use it once per battle, and it only happens on one move, and that's it. It's done, it's over. Mega Evolution lasts the entire battle. What's it called? Dynamaxing. Dynamaxing lasts 3 turns, and is basically Mega Evolution plus Z moves. I mean, it's just so gimmicky now. And it's so sad to see. Like, Pokemon used to be good when it didn't have gimmicks. When it was just, oh yeah, let's focus on the actual core gameplay. Let's improve that. Let's make that better. Now they're just like, I don't know. Make them different. Make them bigger. Yeah. Now that's gameplay variety right there. And I touched on the laziness, but dear God, these games have gotten so lazy. Like, starting with Gen 6, the models, lifeless, stilted, lazy, reused for every game after that. The regions are boring, they're tiny, they're uninspired. It's like there's so much laziness going on, especially in the story. Gen 7 with Sun and Moon tried to pick it back up, but it just kind of fell flat. Like, yeah, there was a story there, but it wasn't interesting, it wasn't engaging, it was just kind of, oh, this is happening, I guess. The twist villain thing was cool, until Sword and Shield did it poorly. Very poorly. No build-up, terrible execution, you could see it coming from a mile away, it was just, wow, it's Sun and Moon again, huh? Gee. Now, Omni brought up that the series has become really cookie cutter and flowcharty, and I get where he's coming from, but one thing I will defend about Pokemon is it has to be repetitive by nature, because that's just what the game is. There's spin-offs and stuff that change up the gameplay, but there's not really a way to effectively mess with that core gameplay loop without losing the identity of what the game is. So I'll side with Game Freak on this one and say you kinda can't change anything about that without drastically changing the feel of the game's identity, if you will. But one thing that I will not allow, that I cannot defend them on, is their blatant Gen 1 whoring. My God. They have been whoring out Generation 1 ever since X and Y. Non-stop. It started with in X and Y, half of the Pokemon that can Mega Evolve, they were from Gen 1. And then the ones that were added in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, still a lot of them from Gen 1. And then Sun and Moon. All the Alolan forms were Gen 1. There might have been a few that weren't, but I think no. Actually, they were all from Gen 1. Every single Alolan form in that game is from Gen 1. And Sword and Shield with its Galarian forms isn't much better. Half of them are from Gen 1. Like, I don't get it. Like, I get why they're doing it, because for some reason a lot of people like Gen 1, even though it's objectively one of the worst generations in the entire series, but just stop. Highlight better generations. Gen 4, Gen 5, those are two amazing generations of Pokemon that get just completely sidelined and overlooked for some inane reason. I don't know why. I wish they would stop doing that. And then Let's Go is the worst offender of this. Because I know people that will blatantly defend Let's Go as some sort of messiah of Pokemon, but it's not that at all. No, I'm sorry, it's not. It's really a mediocre game at best. You can enjoy it, yes, but you cannot say that it's an objectively good game. It's the culmination of everything wrong with the modern Pokemon franchise. It's lazy, it reuses models, it literally scrapped a lot of the core gameplay mechanics. You're limited to only Gen 1 Pokemon. Like, it looks nice, yeah. Oh yeah, let's not forget about the fact that they took away the wild battle system, though. Also, the fact that you can accidentally overlevel your Pokemon. By the way, I will be making a Let's Go review, so look out for that. But Let's Go is the poster child of what is wrong with the Pokemon series at this point. And I just can't get behind the people that blatantly defended the series at this point. It's getting as bad as people in the Sonic fan base that are just blatantly defending those games. Pokemon is going to become the next Sonic. I'm telling you right now, this is going to happen, unless the series does a 180 and starts getting better. Pokemon's going to be the new Sonic. You're going to have the super hardcore fans defending the series when it's mediocre at best, and because of that, the people making the game are going to see that and be like, oh, so we can just keep pumping out this mediocre garbage and everyone will still like it. Cool, let's keep doing that. No. You can like a game. That's totally fine. But don't let your subjective opinion of a game mess with your objective analysis of it, with your objective viewpoint. I'll say it right now, I have a guilty pleasure game. I like Recore. I will come out and say Recore is not a great game. I like it for its concept, I like it for what it tried to do, but in execution, not that great. Now, would I recommend people go play it? Kinda. I mean, if you're curious, like if you're that curious, yeah, go play it. It's a pretty fun game. Don't expect anything like mind-blowing. It definitely could be better. Heck, the game was literally unfinished on release, and it took them like 3 years to finally finish the game, but I'm getting sidetracked. The point is, Pokemon right now is in a bad place. A very bad place. Like, the most recent game. They didn't even add in all of the Pokemon. And they lied about why. They were like, oh, well, there's not enough space on the game to add them all. Meanwhile, they're adding in 2 DLC packs, which are adding back in Pokemon. That is both laziness and just cash grabbing. That is blatant cash grabbing. I haven't even bought the Sword and Shield DLC yet. I don't know what it's like. Honestly, I'm just thinking about skipping it all together because it really doesn't look that interesting. Do I want to be able to get some Pokemon back? Yes. Do I want to have to pay Game Freak at this point? No. Because Pokemon and DLC just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. Because if your whole team, like, I get what they did for it, where it's like, oh, you have this legendary Pokemon and you only use it to fight, so you train it, but like, what then? Then you're done. Congratulations. That's boring. But, yeah. So, I guess that's really all I have to say. I mean, in all honesty, I could go on for days about how the Pokemon franchise has fallen from grace, and it used to be really good. We stan Gen 5 in this house, okay? I'm gonna say that right now. We stan Gen 5 in this house. Because it is near perfect. I have sat down for hours upon hours trying to think of a single flaw with Gen 5, and I legitimately can't. That might be bias clouding my judgment, but in all honesty, I have looked at it from an unbiased perspective. I can't find anything wrong with it. I really can't. The only thing people are saying are wrong with it is, oh, the Pokemon designs are bad. Like, no, they're not. No, they're not. Shut up. But, yeah, I guess that's about it. I just wanted to put this out there because, again, I remembered that one of the reasons I made this channel is because I wanted to put my opinions out there. And yeah, I like making the gameplay videos. They're fun for me to edit, they're fun for me to record, but I just have that itch, you know? I have that itch of, I just want to put what I want to say out there, and I want other people to see it, and I want other people to talk about it and be like, oh yeah, I agree, oh yeah, I disagree. I want to start a discussion, you know? Because the people that I have in my life, I'm not going to say anything bad, by the way. This is nothing bad, but they aren't the same type of person that I am. They don't really like getting into discussions and like potential arguments because they feel like it's a bad thing. They're like, oh, this is gonna ruin friendships or something. Which, I just like having discussions and stuff for fun. Like, I can walk away from a heated discussion and still be like, yeah, they're my friend. You know? But because of that, I haven't really had an outlet to like get this stuff out, but now I do have this outlet, so yeah. Maybe I'll do some more like shorter videos like this, maybe not, I don't know. I'll have to see what I'll do in the future. But yeah, I'll link Omni's video down in the description below, so you can go check it out and kind of get some context as to where I'm coming from. But, yeah, so the next Star Wars video will be out by Thursday at the latest, I promise. I'm sorry I haven't been putting out videos all that frequently. I've been procrastinating for some odd reason. I really don't know why. I need to figure that out. I think it's just because these videos take me a whole day to edit, just because of how long they are. But, so yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again next time. Until then, see ya.